Almost in. Turbine's still spinning, so it hasn't shut the valve off yet. A little better than yesterday. I'm finally getting the timing figured out on it. All I can figure is that leak just, changed the pressure, and some of these are still left out here. And actually, Bam Bam and one cow just walked up here ahead of me. And there's your orb in the morning. Get this moved here in a couple minutes. So I'm going to kick all them out of there first, because its next setting's over there and they won't be in there. Fun times. Then go dink with a baler. So not looking forward. Bad thing on this baler versus our other inline we had. The other inline we had, that went up higher to get out of your way. I mean, yeah. By the time I stand up on a step and step up, my head's against that if I'm going to try to stand up straight, and then you're too far in the wrong spot. But I think pop the cylinder and I think it'll go over, maybe, if the fan doesn't hit something. That's another gripe I got about this one. The other one's the fan set on top and blew down. This one, where the fan's on the front, I mean, literally, I'll show you. Stay there long enough. You got the fan right there. You got the plunger arm right there. All the dust blows right straight into the fan. If the fan was on top, it wouldn't have as much dust to it, because a lot of the dust just, it's literally coming up right into the fan. Stupid place to put it, that's what they did. Anyway, I've been refreshing my memory a little bit in the book, and I should go find one of those pieces of twine and show you. Focus. That is what the knot should look like. That is off the left knotter. And here is one off the right knotter, and it is right. It is 100% correct, just like the one on the other side. Since I couldn't hold on to everything, this is when the left knotter chooses to fail. Now there's a few different things, and the other end of the twine will look different. Sorry, I'm trying to get the other end of the twine in my face. A little tiny bit of fray, but for the most part it's a clean cut. So the issues are either the twine finger's not catching it, or it's getting cut in the discs. This is the disc. The needles come up. I really need to get the step over here. The needles come up right through here, right against this, and there's a notch in the disc right there. And then this shaft turns, and there's 3 discs there, and it holds on to the twine. So it'd be, kind of like doing that kind of thing. And the needle comes up past it, it makes the knot, the needle goes back down. And on here, it's different than the big baler, because right now this is in the disc. That's what's holding it, until the needle comes up with the other end of it. So we just got to figure out, it's either a timing thing or there's a burr on something. And one of the things is the twine finger, which is what this is. It swings around and pulls the other twine in tight to this and holds them on the bill hook, which is kind of hard to show you from here. Anyway, the bill hook is just what it says. Looks kind of like an upside down duckbill in there, and it swings around, has a piece that opens. It comes, grabs it, and it does a twist, And then the knife arm, which is down here on this one, has a little notch in it right there. That goes over the bill hook and literally peels the twine off of it to form the knot. So, other things that will cause what we got going on are if the hay dogs are not, if you got a broken one or a broken spring, well, these are the hay dogs. That's what keeps the hay from pushing back forward when the plunger comes back. There's two on each side, one on the top and one on the bottom, and they are all there. They are all where they belong. They are doing what they're supposed to do. So, I'll let you know if we find anything. And honest, these knotters are a little, I don't want to say backwards, but kinda. There's only a few manufacturers in the whole world, and they make whatever the company wants for them. Down the big baler, the twine armed, I mean, they're knife arms. They're out in the open. You can really see them. Adjustments on it are all like over in here. Where here's the adjustments. You got a spring here, and this is a spring too. This holds the clamp on the bill hook, and this one is for the twine disc tension. I think I'm right. And I mean, we've played with it. I do see there's a big difference. That one's a whole lot tighter than this one. But I think the reason for that is because what the mechanic, when they worked on it, when it was under warranty, they were going on the assumption that it was a different direction, and that's why it wasn't holding it. So you would loosen this. Oh, I don't know. We're going to find out. Maybe we ought to just suck it up like the other side is. Maybe it'll work. I don't know. Trying to figure out where to really start. I just did something. Don't know if it's wrong or right. The spring length from end to end is supposed to be 1.22 inches. Now, keeping in mind, this is the knotter that we have trouble with. It was 1 inch with a measuring tape. Wasn't going to get no 2.2. This is the knotter that I think has maybe caused, God, 1, maybe 2 broken bales every couple of years. And that's usually because when it changed balls, it's tried to tie a knot in a knot, and that does not work. This is where it was already set. It is 7/8 of an inch overall. So that's where I started. If that one's working fine, let's use the same theory here. An interesting thing to note, I assumed that that was probably 11/16 hex, and this might have been 5/8. Well, no. If it wasn't 11/16. 11/16 fits this one fairly well. Doesn't fit this one worth a damn. 17 millimeter fits it quite nicely. Kind of interesting. So that's what I'm going to start with. I'm just looking at other, like wear here. There is a little burr on that. I mean, I can't cut my finger off. There's just I can feel it with my fingernail, which is going to be the same on the other side. That shouldn't affect what's going on down here. So that's a good place to start. The other thing I noticed is the bill hook spring. Yeah, I guess I'll flip them back up. It's easier to see. Get it up here right now. That's what's holding it up. It's because of the tension on that. This one is way loose. I mean, this one is, I can wiggle it, you know, without overcoming the spring. There's no movement this way, and this one has plenty. So now I'm going to look in the book and see what it says there. And we'll find out here in a little while. Ty is going out to pasture here over Bam's group was, so we can move irrigation, because I didn't do that this morning. I went out and shut it off. They were all out there and I wasn't going to fight them. So we probably won't even irrigate today. But anyway, oh yeah, and the frickin' cylinder. Yeah, I couldn't get it to pop off. I was going to break something, so we just took the bolt out. And that's where it sets up there. Doesn't seem to want to go any farther. It ain't falling on my head. Makes it a whole lot nicer than where it was. So, this is where we're at. Well, back to here again. So, the measurement, keep in mind the measurement on these springs. That's assembly measurement, which should be in the ballpark, and then you adjust from there if need be, depending on what's going on. Get the same thing on here too. They happen to measure from the nut to the end of the stud. 5 millimeters is what they say. No, that'd be roughly 3/16 of an inch. There's barely that. It's not even that. It's 30 seconds short, and the other one is the same measurement. So I'm going to leave those alone for the moment. If need be, we'll tighten this one up a little bit in the field if we have issues. That's what I'm going to stick to at the moment. So I think, until it's in the field and going, I think we're kind of done here. But the only thing I can do is check the twine tension, and that'd be the pull, how tight it is coming out of the box, which we've been through that before, God knows how many times. And just a FYI, I don't like the tensioners they use on small balers, because inevitably it's this setup, come through a hole there, if it rides to the side it can wear into that, and then you got issues. But they always ride into the side there, because it's pulling to the side. On the big baler, it's got geared rollers and springs that hold tension to them, so the twine is going between gears, and it's got things on there to make them line up. But they also have a lot more tension than this. I mean, that's not much. So, but that's where I'm at the moment. Well, I was just getting ready to pull the baler out of the shop when Ty texted me and said she's getting wet. Yeah, that right tire's peeing out the middle of the sidewall. It's parked so it's up top, so right now all it's losing is air. And, so far the two tire shops around that are worth using, neither one of them have any used 18434s anymore. And prices are like any tire, they're freaking crazy. And nobody has them in stock, but they can get them out of a warehouse, and if they're quick enough, might be able to get them out of the warehouse today and get them on. Otherwise, we're most likely looking at in the next week before we're going to be able to move that thing. Gotta love it. So waiting for a phone call back from the one outfit, and let's see what happens. Well, as you saw, it got delayed a little bit, so it is right at noon right now. Much later than I was hoping. That would have been the last one it tied while it was still in the field. And she'd be able to have broken one up in the other field on the way in here. So, yeah, the one that was sticking out of the baler's behind me a little ways, and it's fine. And this one was the left knotter that didn't tie. And that first one there, that'd be the one that it tied when she did the rebale, which would be while we were messing with it, So we'll see how far this goes. I mean, a fluke once in a while is one thing, but that freaking right one popping all the time. And I know part of it, I mean, this is just too freaking dry. Prefer about 12%, not less than 10. But that is what it is. And I'm waiting for that one just broke. I don't know which one it is though. I don't want to jinx anything, but those two bales are the only ones. And the one up here beside her in a minute, that was the left twine. And that one was a left twine. So now there's three. I just jinxed this. I just had to jinx this, right? I just got a rough count on bales. That's 6 broken out of 100 bales. And each one I saw break was out of the left knotter. Just twines exactly like it was out of the right knotter before. Doesn't make sense. So I guess we're not done messing with it yet, but see, the other piece, 196 solid bales came off of there. Well, yeah, and she had 230 on the counter. So that's over 30 bales that broke in. You know, I mean, if we got the same number of bales on here, well, we're half the brokens anyway. So, yay. And that rake doesn't like to fit between bales very well, but I do like to run the rake through brokens. They bale up a whole lot nicer. You get a lot less trouble. But I can't do that till she gets to the middle. Well, I could, but I don't want to mess her up. So she gets to the middle, I'll do the corners and get those. And I guess I got some bales to move out of the corner yet, too. But, yeah, just doesn't make sense. Well, it's done down there, except for making the big bales. There's our share, give or take. Landowner just takes what he wants. It's usually just under his share. So, what, 22 bales short of 3 loads, 88 in a stack. And I heard it yesterday and I wondered, but from the cab you can see the belt that runs the fan for the radiator that's over here. I could see it was still turning and things were still staying cool. But yeah, not sure yet what's going on. And yeah, you like that. That's one reason there's no air conditioning. Somebody who had it previously, that ended up down and rode on the belt. And yeah, hell of a place for a compressor with all the shit that comes on it. And then when you get over here, if you look through the screen, I don't know if you can see it through the screen or not, but ouch. One of the lines isn't even on there anymore. The other end's cracked or broke. But the fun part to get into there is this comes off and maybe get in there, and then you'll like for the belt adjustment. See where this sits on the frame? It's clamped. There's other adjustment too, but you can slide this whole thing. You can't do it too much though, because the radiator hose won't let you, or the pipe. And Little Perkins, that is the same block that's in 3394 or 3345, 3545 Massey tractor. But in the tractor, it's turbocharged. And God, that'd be nice in this thing. You know, I think the old 360s gas pots had more balls, but it gets the job done. Oh, dick with this later. It's too friggin' hot out now. They said it was supposed to be cooler, and I don't think it's any cooler than it was yesterday. So, like the neighbor said when he got the rest of his share loaded on a trailer, he says, I'm going to go park it, I'm going to go in the air conditioning and have a drink. So that's what I'm doing too. And maybe while this thing's up here, I'd put it in the shop, but this is still full height from factory, and those pieces sticking up, those are over 14 foot. It's 14 foot to the top of the frame. Yeah. Dad banged that a couple of times. He thought he could pull it in there. It don't fit. The old one fit, but the old one we cut down because it was rusted out at the top. So it was only 13.6. It cleared. Anyway, I need to figure some way to keep all the chaff from getting underneath there, because right now this is sitting on top of chaff. When it does tie tier, this comes up. It only comes up so far, and when this gets built up too much, it won't trip it. And that lever beside the chain, if it's built up too much, the bale can't push that down far enough to let it trip when it hits here. Just one of the fun things about having hay that sheds really bad. And it's probably going to be Wednesday before that green tractor down there gets to move again. It's sitting there all the way flat on one side, but I don't think it leaked any out after we got it parked, other than air. So, and that's kind of a cluster. Tires are coming from the tire shop we've used forever. Another tire shop's going to do the work. So I think the tires will be in Monday, I think. And the other outfit won't be able to get anybody out here till Wednesday. And that's fine. If I have to, we put the spear and the counterweight on the 175 and use it to pick bales up. But, you know, at this point in time, there's no bales to pick up. Tomorrow there should be, but they're literally right across the road. So I think we'll just take the skid steer down, just make a few trips, back and forth and be done with it. Probably be quicker than going out and getting the 175 and putting the counterweight on it and changing the spear and taking it down there, you know. Anyway, it'll work. Ty says we got to feed big bales tomorrow too, so that means I got to get some baled. And yeah, it's too damn dry to bale now. I'd go down there and have nothing but trouble. So anyway, as you saw, our baling went much better. I don't know if all those clips worked out because I found one that was 0 seconds. So probably something missing in translation somewhere, but that's okay. You'll figure it out. At any rate, 7 broken bales. 6 of them were the knotter failing for some reason. Number 7, the very last one that broke, was actually on a ball switch. It changed twine balls, and yeah, it happens. So, hope everybody had a good Friday, last day of the month. Let's hope that next month is a better month, right? Not that this month was too bad, but always hope for better. Thanks for watching, everybody.